Welcome back. Today we're diving straight into an explainer on a place that's, well, far more than just lines on a map. It's a living, breathing entity with a heartbeat that's been thumping for millennia. We're talking about Gujarat, literally the land that built India.
Let's kick things off with a pretty massive question. I want you to think back, way back, 5,000 years. Long before modern empires were even a blip on the radar, before India was a nation, where was the world's very first seaport? Okay, let's dive right into this. It was right here, on the western edge of the Indian subcontinent, in a place called Lothal. The Indus Valley people built this, and look, they weren't just farmers, they were absolute master engineers. They built an entire dockyard, brick by precise brick, just to receive ships sailing all the way in from Mesopotamia and Arabia. It's that ancient instinct to trade, to connect, to build, that forms this unbroken commercial spirit. And honestly, it's a spirit that has literally never left this land.
So, to really understand how that spirit evolved, we need to look at part 1, the ancient commercial soul from Gujaratas to Golden Ages. You might be wondering, where does the actual name come from? Well, Gujarat traces back to the Gujaras. They were this fierce warrior clan actually believed to be descendants of the Huns, who swept into northwestern India around the 6th and 7th centuries CE. They settled down and their kingdom, Gujarat, eventually gave the region its modern name. But, and this is crucial, long before that name ever took hold, massive empires were already zeroing in on this incredibly strategic coastline.
Just look at how this timeline of ancient empires stacks up. It's like a magnet for power. Every ruling empire knew exactly what they had in this trade network. By 300 BCE, the Great Maurya Empire had already snatched up Gujarat's ports. Then, skip ahead a bit, the Sakas take control from 130 to 390 AD. By 400 AD, the powerful Guptas are literally pumping immense wealth from coastal cities like Bharuch straight into their heartland. Which brings us finally to the 9th to 13th centuries and the magnificent Solanki dynasty. Now, the Solanki Golden Age. This is where Gujarat transforms into an absolute cultural and architectural powerhouse. The capital city, Patan, just exploded with growth. I mean, they built the Mahagujarat Sun Temple, which is this unbelievable mathematical wonder carved to align perfectly with the sun during equinoxes. Mind-blowing stuff for the time. And it was right here that Queen Udayamati commissioned the Rani Ki Vav stepwell. If you haven't seen it, it's a breathtaking UNESCO World Heritage Site today. This right here was medieval Gujarat at its absolute peak. It was artistic, super prosperous, and deeply globally connected. But of course, history never stands still, does it? That brings us to Section 2, Sultans, Ships, and Empires, the kind of wealth that attracted the entire world.
So moving into the early 15th century, after weathering a major invasion by the Delhi Sultanate, a fiercely independent Gujarat Sultanate rises up. In 1411, a ruler named Ahmad Shah I decides to build a brand new capital. He names it Ahmedabad. And just think about the sheer resilience of that for a second. That exact same city is still standing today, essentially acting as a living bridge from the 1400s straight to today's bustling metropolis of over 8 million people. Crazy, right?
Now, what's really fascinating about this next bit is how it captures the relentless cycle of empires, but pays special attention to step 3. After the Sultanates run their course, the Europeans show up. In 1608, the British East India Company decides to set up its very first Indian factory right in the Gujarati port of Surat. The empire that would go on to rule the entire subcontinent? Yeah, their colonial journey started right here in Gujarat, long before the region was officially swallowed up by the British Bombay Presidency. And naturally, that long period of foreign rule sparks a monumental shift in the story. Let's move into part 3, Engine of India's Freedom. We're talking about the true architects of a nation.
When the fight for independence really heated up, Gujarat was far from a bystander. Honestly, it was the absolute engine room of the whole movement. Look at the absolute titans on this list. You've got Mahatma Gandhi launching his legendary movement straight from the Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad. You've got Sardar Patel, famously known as the Iron Man of India. I mean, after independence, Patel pulled off the near impossible, uniting over 500 scattered princely states into one single republic. Let's be real, without his Gujarati resolve, a united India simply doesn't exist. Add in Morarji Desai, the first non-Congress prime minister, and K.M. Munshi, a key architect of the Constitution, and you see exactly what I mean.
The world watched. The British Empire trembled. Think about that for a second. On March 12, 1930, Gandhi kicked off the Dandi Salt March. This was a grueling 241-mile trek to the sea,
just to defy the British salt laws. But it wasn't just a protest. It was really the ultimate act of peaceful resistance, one that completely shifted the moral axis of the entire 20th century.
So post-independence, the story takes a turn inward. It becomes a lot more about identity and self-determination. Section 4, Birth of a State, driven by the incredibly intense Mahagujarat Movement.
And this split right here brilliantly illustrates the dueling destinies of a newly freed people. See, after 1947, Gujarat was actually lumped into this massive, bilingual bomb-based state. But people wanted their linguistic and cultural identities officially recognized. It took fierce protests and intense strikes during the Mahagujarat Movement, but on May 1, 1960, the Bombay Reorganization Act finally passed. The state split right down the middle into two powerhouses, Maharashtra on the left and Gujarat on the right. They even built a brand new capital completely from scratch, calling it Gandhi Nagar in honor of Mahatma Gandhi.
As we move into the modern era, the pace of the story just completely shifts into overdrive. We hit the ultimate pivot point, one that truly tested the state's enduring spirit. Part 5, Rebirth from the Rubble and the Rise of a Modern Economic Juggernaut.
In 2001, the unimaginable happened. The Bhuj earthquake in Kutch struck, taking over 13,000 lives and literally leveling entire towns. The devastation was just profound. But what happened next? Absolutely astonishing. The state launched what became one of the fastest post-disaster reconstruction projects in India's entire history. And interestingly, this rapid sheer-will rebuilding effort inadvertently birthed what we now call the Gujarat Model. It's this hyper-efficient, fiercely pro-business style of governance, which was soon supercharged by the vibrant Gujarat summits. Suddenly, they're pulling in the world's biggest CEOs and global investors like a magnet.
If you want to truly grasp the sheer scale of this economic rebirth, just look at that massive 33% slice. That's Gujarat's share of India's total merchandise exports today. Think about that. One single state, utilizing massive private ports like Mundra, is single-handedly driving a full third of the entire nation's global trade impact. It's unreal.
And the data comparison here is wild. Look at the very first bar. Gujarat holds just about 5% of India's overall population. But look at what happens next. It punches so far above its weight class. It's generating 8.3% of the country's entire GDP and pumping out a massive 18% of India's total industrial output. I mean, we're looking at a highly optimized, hyper-productive economic engine.
So the real takeaway here boils down to this staggering number, 25 lakh crore rupees. That is Gujarat's gross state domestic product today, the massive footprint of its current economy. To put that into perspective, in barely 2 decades, it skyrocketed from a 1.42 lakh crore economy to become India's third largest. That kind of meteoric growth trajectory doesn't just make waves at home, it commands serious global attention.
All right, let's fast forward to right now. What makes this place tick today? Part 6, the future and the pride. We're talking smart cities, microchips, and lions.
Remember those ancient engineers at the Lothal dockyards from 5,000 years ago? Well, look at what their descendants are up to today. We've got Gift City, India's very first operational smart city and a massive global finance hub. Then there's Dholera SIR, this gigantic industrial city being built literally from scratch out of nothing. Oh, and they just announced a jaw-dropping 1.25 lakh crore rupees going into new semiconductor plants, setting the state up to be a global powerhouse in chip manufacturing. On top of all that, it's the home base for Amul, the massive dairy cooperative, and of course, the Gir Forest, which is literally the only place on Earth where you can still find wild Asiatic lions.
So take a quick glance at these modern metrics. You've got its formation date back in 1960, its massive 1,600-kilometer coastline, the longest in India, by the way. The raw stats are impressive, but honestly, what you really need to take away from this is the emotional legacy of endurance here. Through invasions, colonialism, and literal earth-shattering disasters, the cultural heartbeat of this state hasn't just survived, it has remained fiercely intact.
Which brings us back to our core thesis today. Gujarat is definitely not a place that just sits around waiting for opportunity to knock. It goes out and builds the door itself. Just like those ancient builders laying down the brick dockyards at Lothal millennia ago, this is a land that constantly reinvents, rebuilds, and rises above whatever is thrown at it.
So I'm going to leave you with this final fascinating thought to chew on. After 5,000 continuous years of this unbroken, unyielding spirit, what in the world is Gujarat going to build next? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today, and hey, keep that curiosity alive.